Having your house burgled is one of the worst things that can happen to you. But luckily for us, some ex-burglars have revealed their secrets. I'm sure you've always wanted to speak to a real-life criminal burglar and ask them, how can I not get burgled? Well, there are some surefire techniques that these burglars have revealed, and also some more secrets from burglars you've always wanted to know. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at burglars answer questions you've always wanted to know. But before we get locked up, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming up first, we have gardening. You may not assume a tough burglar would care much about shrubbery and foliage, but one of the first things any burglar looks at when they look at a house is the garden. That's not because they want to take your geraniums. Instead, it's because it's a good indicator to say whether you're in or out of your house. For example, if you've been away on vacation for a while, your grass may grow and your bushes may get out of control. If all your neighbors have perfect gardens but your one is not perfect, then burglars may assume you've gone on vacation and will burgle you. One burglar named Kevin said it's actually worth hiring someone to look after your garden if you're going away for a long time. And even if you're not on vacation and have a badly kept garden, burglars may assume you're not there. So if you've been neglecting your garden and not mowing your lawn, make sure you do so, as it could be the difference between you getting burgled and not. Next up is WD-40 on windowsills. Let's say you're going away for quite some time. One burglar said the best technique to make sure no one climbs in through a window is to spray WD-40 on the windowsills. WD-40 is a water-resistant lubricant. This means it won't wash away that easily in the rain. If you spray this on your windowsills and maybe even on your fence, it will make it very hard for burglars to climb into your property. If you do this, they will likely simply move on to another property. That's because they want as few problems as possible when they're breaking into a property. One ex-burglar actually says he does this himself to make sure he doesn't get burgled when he's away or on vacation. Next up is burglary times. You may think that all burglars strike at night. You've seen all the cliche movie clips of burglars breaking into homes at night. But if you think that's reality, then think again, says one burglar. Burglars often target homes in the morning after 8 AM. That's because everyone in the house is likely left for work or for school, and a lot of the time it's easier for them to break in at this time. That's because they won't run into anyone sleeping. And also, all of your neighbors who may realize they're doing this will also be out at work or school. So it's worth listening to the rest of these tips and making sure to follow the advice to make sure you don't get burgled in the middle of the day. Next up is vacation photos. One ex-burglar said he never posts vacation photos online. In fact, he said he waits until he's back home to do this. That's because the burglar said this was a technique he used to use. He would trawl through Facebook and look at his friends and friends of friends to see anyone's holiday photos. He would then work out where those people lived and target their property. He would know from their photos that they're in a different country and not at home. And then he would strike and take anything they had in their home. One burglar says don't post anything on Facebook that you're not home and how long you'll be out. And also don't post any vacation photos until you're back home. It may be tempting to get all of those likes straight away, but you're gonna have to wait if you don't want to get burgled. Next up is passports and licenses. I'm sure lying around your house somewhere you leave your passport and driver's license. But actually, whenever you go out of your house for an extended period of time, say more than a day, you should take these with you. Even if you won't necessarily need your passport or driver's license, you should still take it. That's because they're one of the most valuable targets for burglars. You may think that burglars want things like jewelry and money, but that's not the case. Many people don't realize this, but identity documents are much more valuable than any money or watches burglars may find. That's because these can be used in identity theft and fraud. In an identity theft, they can sell these on and then ransack your entire bank balance. Or they can sell your identity to someone else, sometimes for $50,000 or more. In fact, one website on the deep web was found to be selling stolen identities for $50,000 apiece. So if you think about it, that's likely more valuable than anything you have in your home. So if you're leaving your home unattended for a long period of time, take your driver's license and passport with you, even if you don't need them. Coming up next is MAILBOX. Let's say you're going out of town for a few days. When doing this, you should always have a neighbor collect the mail in your mailbox. That's because burglars say that a full mailbox is a telltale sign that you're not home. Many burglars actually admit to driving around areas looking for full mailboxes, and some even pretend to be delivery drivers or mailmen to check on mailboxes up close. If they realize your mailbox is full, they may target your home for a burglary. Also, if you're just busy or lazy and don't get your mail from your mailbox, you should start doing that. That's because they may think you're not at home even if you are and then burgle you anyway. So if you're going on holiday for a few days, make sure you get your neighbor to collect your mail. It could be the difference between your house getting ransacked and not. Next up is barking dog. Did you know that the most effective way to keep a burglar away from your home is to have a dog? No burglar wants trouble with humans, but the next biggest worry for a burglar is a dog. Burglars might be worried that the dog could bite them or scare them away. But one of the main reasons burglars don't like dogs is because they're very loud. Burglars want to raise the least suspicion possible, and a barking dog raises lots of suspicion. Many burglars admit that a barking dog is something that would cause them to think twice about targeting a house. But what if you're taking your dog with you on vacation? Or maybe you don't want to have to look after a dog just so you don't get burgled. Well, don't worry, one ex-burglar gave a great tip. He says that he doesn't have a dog, but what he does do when he's going on holiday or leaving the home alone for one night, he will use a recording of a dog barking. He'll simply play this recording of a dog barking on a loop. He says this is enough to ward off any wannabe thieves. And he actually recommends that anyone who does not have a dog in their home when they're out should do this tip. And finally on the list, we have motion activated lights. One burglar says that a great way to never be burgled is to get motion activated lights. These days, they're very cheap and will only set you back $5 to $10, but they may save you a whole load of money and a whole heap of trouble by not getting burgled. Motion activated lights are a very simple deterrent. You don't have to waste electric money by leaving your lights on to give the impression someone's home. If you have these, they will actually warn off any opportunistic burglars. That's because they do not want to arouse any suspicion. But if your neighbors see the flash of your motion activated light, then they will see the burglar. Burglars really don't like these, and if you pair it up with other tips in this video, chances are you won't be burgled anytime soon. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Vote in the poll in the top right corner. Have you ever been burgled? If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.